Okay, we are cruising along and we are at part 4 right now, and we're going to build this about us page today. Now, one thing that I've just noticed and that we didn't do in the last video is that notice how there's some kind of navigation indication right at the top. So when we are on the about us page, then we have this about us link lighting up in green, and then when we are on the get started page, we have this lighting up in green, and then when we are on the home page, then this lights up in green, and so on and so forth. Now I'm also going to do that in this video, and I'm going to explain why, because what you noticed in the last video is that when we go inside our components and we go inside, I think it was the header, right, we had the nav link and we didn't use the link that comes from react.dom as well. We used the nav link component. Now I'm going to explain why we needed this in this video, and actually we're going to do a practical example. Okay, as always, if you want the repository, then the link is going to be in the description. You can go ahead to my profile, and the repository is called Trigr, and you can just go ahead and clone this, or you can download the zip file, and then once you extract it, then you will need to say npm install and then npm start, which will start your development server on localhost 3000, and this is what I have, and I'm running it in my terminal right here on localhost 3000. Okay, and just to confirm that our navigation is still working, we have the about us page, we have the let's talk page, we have the get started page right there. Okay, fantastic. Now let's go ahead, let's go into our header component. Right now, right here, I'm going to add an attribute or a prop. Really, this is a prop because there's a component that is called active class name. Active class name. Now what this means is that these styles will only apply when this is it is the active class. How do I explain that? When, well, for example, when we navigate to the home page, then these styles are going to apply because we are on the home page. If we navigate to the about us page, and I'm going to add active class name here as well, then the styles here are going to apply when we are on the about us page. Now what we need to do is just say text green dash I think 500 should be fine, right? And then let me do that to this as well. So let's say, come on, text green dash 500. So let's save this, and then let's see what we have. Now look at this, we are on the home page, right? Now this lights up as green, and when you go to the about us page, now we might encounter a slight error, and I'm going to show you that error and how to fix it. So look at this, we're on the about us page, so this lights up in green, but notice this, even though we're on the about us page, then the link for the home page, which is technically this, still lights up in green, and we don't want that. So let's first add this to the let's talk page. So right here, let's add this, copy that and paste, and then let's go into let's talk, and look at that. So that's looking fantastic, right? So what we need to do is that, remember how in our app.js, okay, remember in our app.js we had an exact prop on the path, and this basically means that only when this path matches the /, that's when you're going to render the hero component, right? The same thing, we need to do the very same thing right here. We just need to add the exact prop here, which means basically only when it's the /, then these styles are going to apply. So let's save this and let's see. Look at that, now it's no longer highlighted as green, and so on and so forth. So we just need to add it to the get started link as well. So the get started link is the button component. So let's go into the button component. So let's say active class name, and we're just going to say text green dash 500. Now this might not work, okay, and I actually think it won't work, okay. So let's save this, let's look at this. Okay, of course it doesn't work because this shouldn't be here, and let's add it on the top. This should work. Let's see. Nope, not yet. But then that would mean that we need to reset a bit of the stylings inside here. So index.css, let's find where we have our button. Where's our button? Right here. So let's say CTA and btn. No, let's just call this class active btn. Okay, let's call it like this. Let's make it comment case, and then let's just say background color. We're just going to reset this style, so we're going to say background color, set this to transparent. Okay, we're going to say border radius can remain. We're going to say border, we don't need a border, so let's say border none. Let's say padding is going to remain, so the color is going to be what's the tailwind color for green? Let me just look for that. Tailwind CSS colors. I forget the hexa values, so let me say this one, 10b981. Okay, Come on, 10B 981. Okay, that's the tailwind green. Font weight can remain family, font family can remain font size, and so on and so forth. So let's save this, and then let me see if this will work. Okay, so let's see if this will work. So active class name, let's say dot active, not dot, but active btn. Let's see. It started, still doesn't work. Still doesn't work. Let me remove this. So now technically this applies, okay, that applies, but we don't still have the button class. This doesn't seem to apply. So what I'm going to do is this styles inside here, I'm just going to remove this class name of btn, and by there I'll just move this to the other side. Okay, I've just moved it before the active class name. And what I'm going to do is, let me test something. Let me just say bg white. Let's see. Okay. So maybe it's because we have the styles in our index.css file, that's why it doesn't work. So let's just fix that. Let's go inside here. Let's say bg green dash 500. Let's say py2 px6 rounded, and add a box shadow just to re-add the styles as they were. Okay, look at that. Now when we're on the about us, okay, now that seems to apply. That seems to apply as we want it to actually. So let's add a transition. Let's transition all, let's say duration dash 300. Let's have a hover state where we're going to say bg transparent, and then for the hover state, let's say text green dash 500, and then I just want to add a border of green dash 500 so that when you hover over it, then the button is going to have a green border. Okay, so let's see, and we need to say border dash border, actually just border. There we go. Fantastic. Yeah, I think that looks much better, and it works as we expect it to work. So let's go into the about us page and let's begin building. So let's go into our about us with our about us page right here, and then we need to import an image which we don't currently have. So I'm going to just say import about from / should be about let me just say about.svg, which we don't currently have. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this image from Figma. Okay, but remember, like in the first video, you can head over to Andro, let me say andro.co, and I don't remember what I searched for here. I actually don't remember, but let me just see if I can find it. Let's just say Rubik's cube. Let's see Rubik, let's say math. Okay, so this is the SVG image that I used. Now when you search for math, I don't know whether you can have an easier keyword to search for this, but this is the SVG image that we used. And once again, if you want to change the color, all you have to do is go right here and then select your preferred color. Okay, so you can head over and download this as an SVG. I'm just going to grab mine from Figma, so let me just do that. Let's say grab this and export as SVG. Okay, let's export it into desktop work, and let's say, where is it? It's called Trigr. Okay, into our source folder, and right here, so let's say about.svg. and while we are here, actually let me do that for the contact us page as well. So we need this for the contact us, and let me see if I can find this one as well. So let's just say contact, search for that, and here it is. So this is the SVG image. Once again, you can change the color to your preferred color. Fantastic. So let me grab this. Let's say export this as SVG. Let's say contact. Okay, fantastic. And I think those are all the SVG images that we are going to use in this project. Now let's go ahead and close this, place this to the side, and let's begin building. So we have about.svg. Where is it? About.svg right there. And probably you want to put these images into a folder so that they don't clutter your workspace. So let's return a section inside here. And you know what, actually, by the way, you know what, this is most likely going to be the same way as our hero section. Okay, so let me go into components. Let's go into hero. Okay, let me copy all of this. So just grab this, and then let's go into about us. Let's return this. Okay, probably I'm going to change these styles. I'm still not sure. Let me see what I had for the hero styles right here. Where's the hero? We have hero overlay and Okay, so let me not return these class names, and then of course we don't want this h1, and of course for this section we want the image to come first. Okay, so we want the image to come first. I'm moving it by just selecting the text that I want and then holding the alt key and moving it up or down. Okay, so we have the class name, we have this, we have the h1 that says what, why does Trigr exist. So say why does Trigr exist, and then below this we have a paragraph that says this. So let me just copy it and paste it here. This is just some random text. If you're in VS Code, all you can say is do something like lorem20, which will generate 20 dummy text for you. Okay, and we don't need the button component here, so let's remove it, and this should be it. So let's save this, and this is not here, this should say about, like so. Okay, fantastic. Now let's see what we have on the screen, and we have this looking amazing. So let's begin styling this out. We are using tailwind, so let's say padding y of 10, padding x of 5, and actually how much padding did I have on both sides? I don't quite remember. Let's say get started. What did I have? Padding of 5 all around. Okay, that should be fine. Okay, you can close this, and then let's go inside this inside this div. Let's say grid and grid columns 1, so display them as a grid with the gap of 5. Let's see how that looks. Fantastic. And then on medium screens, then we just say grid columns should be 2. Okay, so let's save that. Let's go inside this h1 font bold. Let's say text 4XL, increase the size. Let's say margin bottom of 5, push away from the text. Probably we can say margin top of 5 as well, just push away from the image. Let's say margin top 10. Okay, and then for medium screens, let's reset the margin top to 0. Okay, and I'm going to show you why that's necessary, just so that it doesn't push away downwards more than the image. Okay, for the paragraphs, did I add a line height on the paragraphs? I should actually do that, because the smaller the smaller your screen becomes, then the greater the line height should be. Just a principle of design. Let's see in our index.css. Let's see the paragraph where I didn't have the paragraph line height, so let's just add the paragraph line height. I'm going to say for every paragraph, then the line height should be, let's see how 1.8 looks. That should be fine. 1.8 is fine. Okay, that's amazing. Now what font did I import? I imported the 400 and 700. Okay, that's nice. Now that we have this, let's just see how this looks on larger screens, and that's all we need to do actually. So let's increase this right around there. Look at that, right around there, then it goes to full screen. Right now I need to just adjust it just a bit, okay, because I don't want this to happen. And probably you know what we can do? What we can do is right around here, then we can add a margin top so that this pushes downwards even more. Right, so let's go right in the section. Let's say for medium screens, the margin top should be 20. How does this look? 20 should be fine. Okay, and then let's say for large screens, now I want to do something different here. Okay, I'm going to say that for large screens, actually no, let's say for XL screens, then I want this to be a Flexbox. Okay, Flexbox, which might just mess it up just a bit. Look at that, you see that? So Flexbox, let's say actually, is that a good idea? No, I don't think that's a good idea. What you can do is just say item center so that this moves downwards. So let's say that for large screens, let's say items dash center, which will push this downwards. There we go. So we have that. Let's say for large screens, once again, let's increase the gap to 10, the grid gap to 10. There we go. And what else? Yeah, I think that's actually it for this. I can't think. That's it for the about us page. So we have the home page looking fantastic, and probably I want to remove this background. I'm starting not to like this slight background. So let's go into index.css and let's go inside. Where is it? Should be the hero overlay. Let's just remove this background color. I'm starting not to like it because it interferes with the flow of the entire page. Now probably I did something wrong, because as you can see, this color is not matching with this and this and this and so on and so forth. That's because we switched to Tailwind after we had our global CSS. Okay, so I might fix that in another video, but not this video, because it will involve quite a lot of tweaking here and there and so on and so forth. So in the next video, we're going to deal with our contact us page, and I hope to see you then. Bye bye.